Hello viewers, my name is Charles here at Nutrition 101, where we eat our medicine and classes in session. And pay attention because I have something good to tell you today. But before I do that, let me ask you one question. If there was a sign that said hazardous or toxic or danger, would you walk towards that sign? Would you walk into that area that had that sign? I would think there would be an astounding no. But what if I told you over 50% of Americans are doing this just by food choices? Yes, you heard right. Just from the foods we eat is exposing us to a toxic situation. So here I want to show you the EWG, Environmental Working Group, list that they release every year called the Dirty Dozen Plus One. Basically, this was a shopper's guide, and of all the test samples that were made on this list, 70% of them were contaminated with at least one pesticide, and there was 178 pesticides in all found in all 13 of these different plants and vegetables. And just mind you, there were about 51 different ones on the full report, but these are the dirty dozen, the first 13. And it lets you know, out of the non-organic fruit and vegetable selection, which one of them will contain the highest amount of pesticide residue. I'm only going to highlight a few of them today. We have the 12 here plus one, but I'm only going to talk about a few today and some that just need to be addressed a little bit more in detail. So I really need you to pay attention. And if you know this Dirty Dozen list and you like what you're about to learn today, take a minute, share it, like it, subscribe, send it to somebody you know who's going to appreciate this information. And let's just get started. Before we do, take a look at this board though. This is my daughter. This is my daughter's work. I could do it, but my daughter does it so much better. So I give her the credit. I'll be showing her on a video real soon. Okay. All right. So coming in at number one of our countdown. For 2 years straight, we have strawberries, right? We love strawberries, right? Who doesn't love strawberries? They're tasty. They're sweet. They have a lot of vitamin C. They clean our teeth naturally, right? Especially if you drink coffee, okay? They're good for heart health, good for digestive health, right? But if you don't buy them organic, it becomes a little berry bomb, right? Because 98% of the strawberries tested had at least one pesticide. 29% of that had at least 10, and in the dirtiest cases, there were up to 17 different pesticides found in strawberries, even when washed. And there were 74 different pesticides in total found in strawberries, and in many cases with this list, even when peeled. So beware of that. So again, coming in at number one for the last 2 years, 2016 and 2017, is strawberries, who bumped out apples, who were number one for the last 5 years prior. Okay, now coming in at number two, jumping 6 spots from number 8 to number 2 is spinach, right? I mean, we love spinach. I think we all love spinach. I love spinach. I eat it just about every day, but I do personally buy organic. But spinach happens to be one of those superfood leafy greens that has vitamin A and all the B vitamins and C and E and K, which is good to help us absorb calcium, right? It's good for our digestive tract, okay? It helps clean our gut, right? All these great benefits to spinach. But when we buy non-organic, we're talking about a neurotoxic leaf, right? This is stuff that attacks our brain, it attacks our nerves, it attacks our body. Out of all the samples collected, it contained more pesticides by weight than any other item on this list. That being that spinach is so light, it's a leaf. That's probably why. Okay, moving on. There are some major pesticides in spinach. There are about 16 different kinds. But I want to talk about 2 specific ones. This one is called DDT. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but I just can't pronounce it. Right? Talking about a chemical substance that kills rodents and birds and bugs. I mean, this is banned in the US and in other countries, yet it still found its way onto spinach again. DDT has been responsible for almost destroying ecosystems in this country. So it was banned, And because of that, ecosystems are starting to build up again in result of that. And species that were almost killed off because of the DDT are now growing again. The bad thing about DDT as well is that it stays around for years. So it affects everything that it gets into, right? So if it gets sprayed on the water, then the plants get it, and then the fish that eat the plants, and then the fish that eat those fish, and then us that eat those fish. So DDT is just a vicious circle. So that you definitely want to stay away from. Another pesticide, one of the really bad ones found in spinach, is permethrin, right? This is used to kill lice. We put this on our heads to kill lice, okay? But they're also putting it on our spinach, right? They're putting it in our baby's baby food. This creates neurological dysfunction. When tested, was specifically linked to ADHD as opposed to kids who ate spinach that didn't have it, where the tests were okay. There's about 16 different pesticides, but you got to look out for those deadly ones, DDT and permethrin. Okay, coming into number 3, the Nectarines. They held that spot for 2 years now, 2016, 2017. I like Nectarines, but we're going to move on. Jumping down 2 spots, we have apples from number 2 to now number 4. I mean, I live here up in the Northeast, right? We have a lot of apples up here in New York, in New Jersey, in Washington, in Pennsylvania, right? A lot of great apples, but now I have to reconsider eating those apples. So what I do is I just make sure I only eat apples when they are in season. That's usually when they're cheaper, and I'm going to buy organic, because apples, instead of taking the doctor away, they're gonna bring it to the doctor. All right, so be smart about that. And jumping down 1 spot from number 4 to number 5 is peaches. All right, and new to the list, right? Jump from 22 to now 6 is pears. The amount of pesticides found in pears since 2010 has doubled. But the biggest problem we find with pears is that it has a lot of fungicides. It has about 4 different fungicides. The problem with that is now that we have, the USA has not really tested how the body reacts when exposed to multiple different pesticides. So this is really bad, and you're getting all that when you consume a non-organic pear. And the average amount of pesticides found in pears were greater than every other tree fruit on this list, even apples. Now moving on to number 7, holding the 7th spot for 2 years straight, cherries. I love cherries. They're pretty expensive already, so I'm probably just not going to eat that, because I would have to get organic, and that's going to jump up the price quite drastically. So what I generally do when I come to a very expensive fruit, like strawberries, like cherries, like blueberries, is I buy big bags of frozen organic berries, and so I could just thaw them out and eat them like that. I very often just eat them frozen, like snacking, like on Skittles, but I'm snacking on frozen blueberries. Or I could just put them in my yogurt and eat it that way. That's the most economical way you're going to get those healthy berries without killing the pocket. You can get 3 big bags of them in the supermarkets. Jumping down from number 6 to 8 are grapes, right? Grapes, the dark grapes are basically the better grapes for you. Moving on down the list, jumping from number 5 to 9 is celery. I mean, I don't know how many people love celery. I happen to eat it because of what it does for the body. Our body has to use a lot of energy to break down celery. So the hotter our body gets, the more fat we burn. So I very often eat celery at night. It's a negative energy, it's a negative calories. It's not going to do anything. So I just make sure it's organic, not very expensive to replace those. So celery is the way to go. And jumping back into our Dirty Dozen list, at number 10 is tomatoes. Where in 2016 it was cherry tomatoes, now it's just the standard regular tomato. And jumping down 1 spot from number 10 to 11 is the sweet bell pepper. Well, we love sweet bell peppers, right? I snack on these all the time. Those can be quite expensive as well. So getting the organic ones can be a little hard in the pocket, but you can get good deals. You get 3 at a time. And if you want to just diminish some of the pesticide levels, all you can do is cook the peppers. Okay, so now coming in at number 12, new to the list, are potatoes. They knocked out cucumbers, and pears had knocked out cherry tomatoes. For everybody out there that eats potatoes, whether it be French fries, right, from your favorite fast food restaurant, which you shouldn't be eating anyway, but if you're making your own fries, I'd beware. Potatoes can be toxic. So buy your organic potatoes, not much more expensive. Have fun with it, make your own fries. And of course, our last on our list, we have our +1, our hot peppers. It's including our chili peppers, our jalapenos, and our serrano peppers, whatever it may be. Now, there are some pesticides that are used on hot peppers that are banned for other crops in the United States, but for some reason they're still allowed on hot peppers. I don't get it. So that concludes our list, our countdown of the Dirty Dozen. Keep a lookout for 2018 when the new list is put out. I will put down the link to the EWG's Dirty Dozen guide in the info section below, and a link to their webpage, and you can get the full report and read about it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And please don't forget to click subscribe to my page. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any video uploads. And of course, like and share to anyone who may be interested in this information. And keep your eye out for the Clean 15 coming up next. Thank you again. Class dismissed. So yes, this is a shopper's guide. This is a shopper's guide, and just to let you know, there were about, this was a shop